2020 is nearing an end. How do you think I did on my New Year's resolutions? Hey there, it's Erik J. Olson. For the last 2 years, starting in early 2019, I got pretty serious about New Year's resolutions. For some reason, I decided in 2019 I was going to run 1,000 miles, which at that time was a ridiculous goal. I was not a runner. I was not running a lot except for the holidays leading up to 2019. But I set my mind to that goal, and then I put a plan together, and then I started to actually track it, and I started to hold myself publicly accountable by like tweeting every single Monday how many miles I had run year to date and whether that was on pace to hit my target or not. And because of all of that structure that I put around my New Year's resolutions, I nailed it. I got done with 1,000 miles. I think it was by Halloween, actually. So 2 months before I needed to. But what I also realized is that if you set a New Year's resolution goal for yourself, or frankly, any goal for yourself, you need to put a lot of process in place to make sure it happens. New Year's resolutions are one of those things where people say it and they say it with a smirk. They laugh. They're like, yeah, I'm going to lose weight. They have something like really not measurable in mind, and they just don't mean it. And I think that's a mistake. I think if you're going to set a resolution, whether it's New Year's resolution or any time of the year resolution, call it a goal if you want. You need to have a plan. You need to execute to that plan. You need to track to that plan, and you should hold yourself accountable. So for me, 2020 was no exception. I had 4 New Year's resolutions that I put into place. Number one is I wanted to kick ass at a half Ironman. Now, I signed up for a half Ironman. It was supposed to be in June. It got pushed to September, and then it got canceled. But I continued to train. I bought a training plan. I had training partners, and we did that ourselves. We plotted our own course, and I did it. I wanted to finish within or less than within or less than 6 hours and 15 minutes. By the way, it's a 1.2 mile swim, a 56-mile bike run. I'm sorry, a 56-mile ride, and a 13.1 mile run. So it's a total of 70.3 miles that you go. I want to do that in about 6 hours and 15 minutes, and I did it in 5 hours and 36 minutes. I'll call that kicking ass. That was my very first one. So I did that. That's done. The second one was to publish a book, the book that I started writing in late 2019. I've edited that thing 3 times. I've had an editor go through it twice. The editing is done. I am now narrating it for audiobook, or I'm going to hire someone. That's the next step. And I also have a cover design that's in progress right now. That will be out on December 26th. It's called $1 Million Journey. And it's all about what it took me over the course of 8 years to grow the business from absolutely nothing to $1 million in revenue. That will be on Amazon, by the way. Plug. Number 3 and 4 are company financial goals. So there were 2 financial goals. One was to collect $2 million in revenue. So that's not monthly recurring revenue or projections. That's actual money that we collected. We are not going to hit that. We have 1 month left. We've collected about 1.75 million. We are going to be short of that goal. The other one was to get to a monthly recurring revenue of $4 million. That means that every month we would be billing at a rate of $4 million per year. We are not there. We're at about 2.3 million, something like that. The reason those numbers are different as far as collected versus the monthly recurring revenue is because we continue to add clients. So our monthly recurring revenue number increases, but it takes a long time for that money to come in and accumulate over the course of a year to a dollar amount. So the annual amount that we bring in every year is going to probably always be less than the monthly recurring revenue unless we start losing clients, which is not the case here. But we have been impacted by COVID like everyone else. We've actually had a very good year. We're in a good financial position, but we're missing our goals. You know what? When it comes to a worldwide pandemic and economic shutdown like we've never seen before, I'm okay with treading water. We actually did better than treading water. So I'll take that as a win, but we are going to miss those financial goals. And frankly, there's no excuse because I could have planned better. I could have hired more salespeople and I could have put more into advertising, and I should have done that, and we would be farther ahead. And that's a lesson learned that I'm going to take into 2021. So I'm already thinking about 2021. I haven't established goals yet, But when I do, keep listening. You're going to hear about them.